It was a cold, sunny day in Paris when Belle was born. Beneath the used napkins and the end of the second coffee mug, the boulangerie was almost empty when I was writing on the paper, and this chubby little girl came to me, emerged from the paper, and asked me, "בבקשה, תציירי אותי. Please, draw me." And I told her, I don't remember how to draw, but she insists. I was looking in the internet for a reference for a happy chubby girl, but I couldn't find not even one. All of the chubby girls were before they got thin. All of them were bitter, sad, and lonely. I realized I have to do something. I must bring Belle to life to tell her story. It was Friday at Gimel Achat in Herzliya. I was 8. I was wearing my new shirt, petting the breads my mother made me this morning. It was my turn to read now. Every week, another child have to choose an article from the newspaper, an article that's important, that speaks to him. I choose this little one from the end of the newspaper. I was standing there in front of the class. My heart was racing, and I started reading. ילדה בת 5 הורדמה לטיפול שיניים ומתה. A 5-year-old girl was put under anesthesia for a dental treatment and died. The class was silent. I can see the teacher is running to me, and she said, "Oh no." I remember her shadow blocking the sun that came out of the window. She said, "No, you will not read this. This is not right. You cannot tell the difference between what's important and what's not important." A tipsha, I remember her saying, but maybe it's only me. I felt I made a big mistake, a huge mistake, for not knowing what speaks to me. And maybe what speaks to me is not important. The next week, I was searching the newspaper to find the important title. Finally, I found it. It was How to Cross the Road Correctly. I was standing in front of the class, reading the article with no passion at all. When I finished, the teacher came to me. "Oh, Inbal," she was smiling. "Inbal, you did a great job. Kol hakavod." I was so happy. I made my teacher happy. Finally, I understood what's important. And this day, I learned perfectly how to cross the road with one direct line without crossing the borders. 30 years from that day, I was attached to this straight line, following it, not getting close to the borders, and never crossing them. Until that day, Belle was born. And since that day, Belle is my teacher. Belle teaches me how to live this straight line behind me and how to love the curves in my mind, in my body, and in my soul. I want to invite you today to see with me 3 pictures of our journey, the journey of Belle and me. The first picture was taken in last Rosh Hashanah. Belle asked me, "בבקשה, תציירי אותי לבושה כמו דבורה. Please, draw me dressed like a bee." She was sitting on the floor, wearing her bathing suit with the black and yellow stripes. She was holding a jar of honey, and she was pouring it all over the floor, all over her clothes, all over her hair and the walls. She was dirty, she was sticky. "I messed it all," she said. It takes me to this one incident when I was 4. I was invited to a friend's house. They gave me this new puzzle to play with. And I opened the box and started to take the pieces that were connected to each other. And suddenly I torn this puzzle. Holding these pieces in my arms, in my hands, I started crying. I was crying, it was painful. I thought, I ruined it all, I messed it up. They will never play with me again. They will never invite me, they will never love me. Belle teaches me that I can be loved with all my mess, even when I mess it up. I want to give a big hug to this little sticky bee, little chubby sticky bee. The second one, Belle asked me, תסתכלי מתחת למיטה שלי. Please, look under my bed. And I was looking. I was just after one of my panic attacks. I was just looking for a stable ground to step on. Looking under her bed, I found him there. There was a small brown teddy bear who was wearing this red shirt and blue overall. I know this bear. I was 5 in the kindergarten when the teacher brought 2 new teddy bears, mother and a child. They were all dressed in blue and red. From the first moment, I fell in love with this small little teddy bear. And all this day, I was playing with him. And in the end of the day, when no one was looking, I put it into my bag and took it home with me. On that same day, I made my first lie. When my elder sister asked me, where is the teddy bear from? I told her a lie. And since that day, nobody was asking about this teddy bear. And me, I had a new friend, a new little baby bear that every time I hugged him, I felt the shame of the guilt of being a liar and a thief. Belle asked me to put it on the washing machine, to give him a good wash. תחפשי אותו. Dust him off. She told me I should be his best friend again. She told me to hold him close to my heart. Belle teaches me. You can take all your guilt and your shame and your fears and hold them close to my heart and to your heart and be their best friend. The third picture was taken when Belle was sitting on the floor with her long black hair near her cat. Beside her there is a column, the column of infusion, right to her vein. But on the top of it, you cannot see regular bags. There are colorful light bulbs connected to her vein. It takes me to one of the many times I was after a long session in hospital. Long hours under the white fluorescent light. I was weak. I was exhausted. I had to go to bed. But instead, I put on this crazy hair wig on my bald head and took the bus to Tel Aviv. And there, in the favorite spot of my favorite coffee shop, when you can see the sea, under the magical colors, light bulbs, I was writing. I was putting all of my colors together on the paper, making them together one magical, powerful power of healing and loving. And now, I want to take you to the future, to one last drawing I haven't drawn yet. We're back in Paris. Me and Belle, we're standing in a gallery. It's our night of opening. On the walls you can see our pictures of our journey. We are surrounded by loving friends and family. and a new love. With him, we are going to cross another border. And also with us, we have many, many, many happy chubby girls and happy chubby bells. I want you all to see yourself invited with your bells. Thank you.